All right. Hi, I'm Jen Rosen. Thank you so much for joining us for this presentation about how we can safely and holistically and long-term wise get ready for event season. So I am by trade, I'm actually a luxury wedding planner. And as you can see, I have my wedding planning company here. I'm in my office here, Rose Tree Events. But several years ago, I was turned on to a regenerative health community. I was deeply suffering in my health and in my business. So 2 years ago was, well, I say two years ago, but now technically it's 3 years, 2023. So 3 years ago, which seems crazy to say, was 2020. And yes, I know I don't want to talk about it, but it is part of my story. So I built up a beautiful business called Rose Tree Events. We are the largest wedding planning company here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm very blessed to have that business, but I was deeply suffering during the pandemic. As you know, we were shut down, we couldn't have events. And outside of that, financially, I was suffering, and my family was suffering. I was deeply suffering in my health. And I dealt with all kinds of different weird things in my body. But basically, the major issues was chronic nerve pain, sciatica. I dealt with a rare autoimmune skin condition that was plaguing me on almost a daily basis, super painful. And I dealt with all kinds of issues like unexplained infertility for 5 years, PCOS. I had gestational diabetes when I did get pregnant, and the list goes on and on. And so I was searching for a solution for myself. And when I came to this regenerative health community, which was told to me by a friend, which is why you're here, listening in here, because someone suggested you come and learn about regenerative health and how to get healthy for the event season and just ongoing as well. Because really, we don't necessarily want to just get healthy for an event, right? That's ideal. It kind of helps us like have something to shoot for if you have a wedding or if you have, a gala or a fundraiser. It's definitely a great goal to shoot for to get healthy. But we really want to promote a healthy lifestyle and one that you can continue on with. So, how I think a lot of people will come to me now. So just backtrack here just a little bit. Because I was turned on to this regenerative health community, I was able to completely reverse conditions in my body and find freedom in my own health. And because of that, I was enamored and went back to school and became a regenerative health practitioner. And so now I can help people do the same thing. And my business is actually called Rose Tree Wellness. And so I help people go deeper in regenerative health. But today I'm talking to you about a simple solution, a solution where you don't have to come into my office and see me as a practitioner, where everyone has access to. And I'm going to talk about why we're all feeling so crummy, whether it be, weight gain or energy loss or, however you're feeling. Maybe you're dealing with acne, maybe depression, anxiety, just anything that you might be dealing with. Your body can and will reverse those conditions once you get it into the right environment. So regenerative health just means getting to the root cause. And the solution I'm about to talk to you about completely changed my life. And when I started on my superfood journey and removing glyphosate from my system, my body completely started to shift for the better. My chronic pain went away within 6 days, and I had been searching for a solution for 6 years. And so I was immediately like, wait, what? And what is glyphosate and all of these things? And now I'm here presenting to you because this information is life-changing and life-saving, really. And I'm going to share some my screen with you here shortly. and just talk to you about some statistics and things that are going on in the world, and also the solution that helped me. But if you are here and you're like, yes, I have an event, yes, I have this, like, how long does it take? Well, each person is different. And so whoever brought you here can definitely make their own recommendations for you. But at the end of this call, I will open it up to Q&A. If you do have questions, or maybe questions for other people, I can certainly make those suggestions for you here on this call. Otherwise, the person who suggested you come here or watch this replay, they can make those suggestions for you. I always recommend 90 days for my clients, because anyone can do 30-day cleanse and feel better, and then they just start to go right back to the same old, and then all of those symptoms come back. And 90 days is kind of a sweet spot. And whenever I'm working with a client, I want them to know that there's two different ways of really treating the body. Whatever ailment you have, it doesn't matter how big or small, you have two options available to you. You have treatment, or you have detoxification or cleansing. And I believe in getting to the root cause, and hopefully you do too. And that's why you're here, because you've tried the treatment route. And there are a lot of holistic treatment options as well, but it doesn't necessarily get to that root cause where, you might be looking to completely reverse something in your body or completely get over something. And even though you're, looking forward to this event, really what's outside of that? You're just going to constantly be invited to events. And so you might as well learn how to get into intuitive eating, listening to your body, being able to flow through your life in freedom and ease and pain-free, because that's really how our bodies were made and designed, to go through this life pain-free and without suffering. And it's kind of hard to imagine now. Because of the statistics that are going on around us, 1 in 6 children will be diagnosed with autism now. 1 in 2 will be diagnosed with cancer now in America, and the list goes on and on. Millions of autoimmune disorders range from diabetes to RA to skin conditions, and frankly, they're just making up diseases now because our bodies are freaking out. And so why is that happening? So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. I'm going to share my screen here with you so you can kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit, and it helps me, the talker, stay on track. So the slides definitely help me. So let's talk about why we may all be experiencing these issues in our tissues. I know it rhymes, but it's true. It's what's going on internally with us. And the first thing I need to talk about is glyphosate toxicity. And if you have never heard of glyphosate, it is a neurotoxin. It came to us from another Germany. They took a compound from the World War, brought it back, dumbed it down, patented it in the 1970s to no longer hurt people, but just to kill weeds. And they deemed it safe because it kills the shikimate pathway in the plant. And they said, well, humans don't have a shikimate pathway, only plants do. But we are dependent on our plants to make what we need in our body. And so right now, sadly, this chemical pesticide, which you might know it as Roundup or now Liberty Seed, because they keep changing the name, is sprayed. 5.6 billion pounds now of this neurotoxin is sprayed on all of our crops annually worldwide. And it's extremely sad because what it does in the body is it acts as an oral antibiotic. Obviously not safe. It breaks the tight junctions in our gut lining. Permeation starts to happen into our lymph system. It also causes a mucoid plaque to develop in our gut and our belly wall, and it wreaks havoc on our body. It's linked to cancer, autoimmune disorders, autism, you name it. Glyphosate is literally the reason why most of us are feeling so crummy in our body. And so I have to start with that, because if you have never heard of this, or maybe you've heard of glyphosate, but you didn't really know what it was, or maybe you kind of stay away from it in, your home, and maybe your garage, it's not in your garage. But here's the issue is now it's in our air, it's in our food, and it's in our water system. And so even if you are kind of staying away from it, not bringing it into your home, which is great, you still may be having this exposure with the non-organic food that you are eating, and in the rain and the water systems that you are around. So you still have exposure. But there's a good news. There's really good news. There is regenerative farming out there now, and Purium is the company that I choose to partner with for all of my clients and for myself. And this is what I started on almost 2 years ago now, in 2021, in the beginning of 2021, is when I first started my first 30-day cleanse. And like I said, after 6 days, I had just seen such amazing transformation in my own body. And then after 30 days, all these other things started changing. My skin started changing. My autoimmune disorder stopped flaring. My second month, my heavy, painful periods went away. And now, still over 2 years later, my body's still free of those symptoms, which is amazing. I could barely walk at times. It was affecting my job, my wedding planning job. I was kind of a toxic person, and I had glyphosate in me, a lot of it, and a lot of parasites as well. But we have an answer here. This is a simple solution, and the solution is our regenerative farming. And the regenerative farming, why is that so different than like organic? Well, organic food just means that they're not actively spraying glyphosate on the farms for the past 3 years. But regenerative farming means that they not only don't spray, but they're actually treating and helping the soil health. So if you think of where you plant your plants and what you're putting in your body has a direct effect on your health, it needs to be grown in healthy soil. And when I heard this concept at first, I was like, well, duh, but how do you know where your food is grown? You go to the store and you pick up a bag of apples and you bring it home. Well, where were they grown? Were they treating the soil? Are they nutrient dense? Because our bodies need live, living, raw plants to provide us with our minerals, our phyto and micronutrients, essentially our vitamins, right? Most people, I would say almost all, are deficient in vitamins and minerals. I never have somebody come to me and say, I'm deficient in protein. Never, not once. Including myself, because our bodies actually need amino acids. They're the simplest way of, our body breaking down, complex protein into what we need, which is simple amino acids for protein. And our body needs very little of that, not a ton. Our body actually needs phyto and micronutrients and minerals to be able to function properly. And, you've heard about gut health and all of those things. And so that's what's most important for our bodies to be able to get healthy and sustain that healthy lifestyle, is to really treat the gut with live living plants. And so that's what Purium is it's a farm to family, company and manufacturer. And their philosophy is that they want to work with the highest quality plant-based food and superfood nutrition. And they've been around for over 28 years now. And they only use organic, live, activated, and sprouted ingredients. And their superfood mix, is also crop rotated. So that means that they're constantly moving the their crops so that their soil can regenerate and bring back minerals. And we water with natural spring water instead of the glyphosate water. And everything is real food because we believe that real food equals real results. And so if you are getting ready for a big event, the easiest and simplest way is to not deal with ketosis and, well, you can get into natural ketosis, but like keto, and then like fad diets or starving yourself or, buy this food and it miraculously makes you thin. And the issue is that, our bodies don't feel safe because there's too many toxins, there's too much acid, there's too many processed foods, there's too many oils. And our body buffers our acids, too much acid in our system, with water, cholesterol, calcium, and fat. And when you get the body into the right alignment, which is more alkalinity, the body will just start to shed what no longer serves it, which includes water, fat, excess cholesterol, and it starts to repair the calcium that it may be taking away from you. So what I love about Purium is their promise to purity. Because when I found out about this glyphosate issue, I'm like, well, how do I know that this food doesn't have glyphosate in it? And it's because of their promise to purity and potency, and they're extremely strict on this. So they actually have an in-house microbiologist that runs every single ingredient. So all of our herbs, our plants, our fruits, our vegetables, they're all run through an infrared molecular scan to match for our purity. So the purity promise is no heavy metals, super important. No genetically modified organisms, also equally as important. No pesticides, herbicides, insecticides. They call them all different things. Biocides, no binders, fillers, colors, etc. And of course, we adhere to the organic seal of approval, non-GMO. We're all vegan and kosher, which we're really, really proud about. And so when I have a client that's looking to lose weight, feel their best, have more energy, heal their gut, I really focus on these 4 main products. And the super aminos is a plant protein. I talked to you about that. And they do over 200 different things in the body. Science has not even been able to prove how many things it does, but basically connective tissue, building healthy bones, healthy muscle mass, and the like, and so many other things. Healthy hair, it helps with collagen production, and many other things. The Power Shake is amazing. So this is your phyto and micronutrients. And we have this amazing way of dehydrating, by like wind dehydrating all of the superfoods so that everything has the purest and all of the nutrients still stays in the plants. So it's a powder, but it's not like sand essentially, because if you go to the store and buy something and purchase it and you put it in your shake, it's like kind of sandy and it doesn't like look alive. And so our product here is all raw, living, activated food. And when you smell it, it smells like food. And when you play with it, it's fluffy. And then when you add back water into it, then it comes back to life and you want to put it in your body within 30 minutes for the best results. And it is so satiating to your cells. Our cells are constantly starving for nutrition. So we are made up of like 75 trillion cells in 2 fluid systems. And these cells are just constantly starving. And so if you ever go to the fridge and like after a full meal, it's like your belly is so full, but you're like, what's next? Where's my dessert? Where's my, my drink? Like your cells are like, whatever I just ate is not filling me up. This is not like satiating my cells. And this product will finally bring your cells back to life, bring you ATP, which is cellular energy, and make you feel so amazing. And it helps, of course, with gut health as well, regulate that. In addition to the detoxification agent here, which is our Biomedic, which is clinically proven to remove glyphosate, which is that chemical pesticide I was just telling you about. And how that works is it starts to peel those biofilms or that mucoid plaque away from your belly wall and start to remove it in your elimination. And it's so gentle. It's also a pre and probiotic. Naturally, it has fulvic and humic acid in it. And then the fourth thing is sleep support. So many Americans are struggling with sleep, and sleep is extremely important. We go through a full detox every night from 10 until 4. And we really need to be sleeping during those time frames to really get the full effect of our healing. Overnight, your body will start to repair certain glands and organs during that sleep pattern. And the apothecary is like drinking 30 cherries in one sitting. And it has 0 water content, so it's kind of syrupy, but it's just cherry juice. And what this does is it naturally helps your gut to produce melatonin, which is that sleep hormone, which helps you rest, when you hit the pillow, where it helps you fall asleep, and actually stay asleep and repair overnight and reduce inflammation and get rid of free radicals in the body caused by isolated supplementation. And so isolated supplementation is like when you ingest something that is not fruits and vegetables and whole foods. Your body does not like that. If it's some kind of chemical compound, it's very hard for your body to digest. And so then it causes a lot of free radicals to happen in your body, which causes more inflammation. So the one thing that I suggest most of the time for all of my clients, and now it's not across the board because every single person is different, but I'm happy to say, like, most of my clients start with some kind of large cleanse like I did, because to really help your body, we have to look at the body as a whole and not just one thing, like, oh, I just want the healthy sleep support. Well, that's just one thing. And our body is really a whole. You can't treat just the sleep. You have to treat the gut. You have to get the glyphosate out and the parasites out. When we have a high parasite load, we're dealing with pain and inflammation typically because there's lots of acid in our system. And so this is the easiest and most simple way to get the body into cellular regeneration and get it into a state where it can start to heal and function properly and feel better and have more energy. And so this is our ultimate lifestyle transformation, or a simple cleanse. So you would take 5 aminos in the morning. You would have a superfood shake in the morning as well, and your detoxifier, which is that Biomedic. You would do the same in the afternoon or in the dinner time, depending on your day, and then have that healthy sleep support in the evening. Now, during the middle 10 days, I suggest then taking the Super Cleanse R, which is the parasite cleanse, very gentle, very effective. You will start to feel better, less pain, less irritability. So many things shifted and changed for me. I just started to feel more alive and happier and lighter in my body after I did the parasite cleanse. And then this is our ULT Plus Performance. And this is what my family lives on. So I work out every day. And so I take a pre-workout, which is our Can't Beat This. Beet powder is extremely important for pre-workout drink because it brings oxygens to your cells naturally. And then I drink a cocoa hydrate and aloe digest during my workout, which is like natural electrolytes that really helps your cells produce more energy while you are expending it. And then you get some extra aminos because that helps build healthy muscle mass. And then the super xanthan helps repair after a big workout so that you're less sore, and it removes that lactic acid naturally from the body. So these are 2 of our most popular larger packages. And I suggest one of those for at least 90 days, because you start to regulate your hormones after 90 days. You get all new blood after 90 days. You get new skin after 30 days. And then, fun fact, you get an all new skeleton after 7 years. So you really can see a full effect if you really stick to this type of lifestyle for years to come. So a couple of other things to note is that we do have kit offerings, because there's many children that are suffering, sadly, and they really need gut support, immune support, adrenal support currently. And so we have our Epigenius Kids, which is now going to be turned into Epigenius Family, which is a chocolate flavored drink, but it has all of our those main 4 products that I talked to you about in there. And so this is all your kids would need. It's all their microphyto and phytonutrients in one spot, their vegan protein, all of that. And then we also have herbal tinctures to help support adrenal gland function, so calm the nervous system. So when they're super crazy all over the place, this just helps them come back to their body and function properly. Now, kids will be kids, but just outside of their norm, essentially. As well as like Immune Shield is what we have as well, which I give to my kids throughout the cold and flu season, or the colder season, to really support their immune function and immune system. And then this is our Daily Core 4, which is kind of like our maintenance. So after you're done really cleansing and getting your body to that goal that you are looking for, maybe it's reducing inflammation, maybe it's losing weight, maybe it's clearing up that acne, maybe it's just increased energy and better performance during your workouts, whatever it may be. Once you get to that goal, then I would shift you down to 1 time a day for the 4 main products to really just continue to feel good in your skin. Our plants, sadly, are not making what we need anymore because of these chemicals sprayed on our food system. And so if you are going to be joining us on any of these things, whether it be maintenance or our cleanse or our cleanse and performance, we as a community are led by regenerative detox specialists, practitioners, other wellness coaches. And so collectively together, there is an app that will support you during this journey that talks more about like proper food combining and acid-based foods versus alkaline foods, and just tons of health support that you could need during this process. And then we provide 2 support calls a week for your needs, your questions, your wins. So we celebrate as we go through the process of detoxification. And then we also provide, right now it's twice a month, but was weekly, Wellness Wednesday calls, where we talk about a topic and educate you on those things and how to reverse certain things in the body and understand the body and why it may be experiencing those things. And then we also have, on a quarterly basis, we'll have like Facebook pages or other supportive things on a daily basis to really encourage you throughout your transformation. So I thank you for listening and following along on this journey that is Purium and the cleanses. And I also just wanted to note too that being a wellness practitioner is wonderful, but it wasn't always wonderful. Like I said, I was deeply suffering in my business, Rose Tree Events, and when I first started my transformation, I was so excited that I started telling every single person around me. And I also felt like I had this burden to start to tell people about glyphosate and about the toxicity that is in our system. And now whether or not people do anything about that is up to them. But I just felt, wow, like I really need to tell my friends and family about this and really educate people. And I started to talk about it. And in turn, so Purium is affiliate marketing and social sharing. And what's beautiful about that is they actually started on the shelves of co-ops, and they were word of mouth, and no one really knew why Purium was different. And Purium means pure and premium. And being a family farm, they realized the importance of the referral, people referring other people, and changed to a social sharing platform about 8 to 9 years ago. And since I joined Purium and started kind of just sharing my own journey, I have been able to almost 5 times my full-time income, just by sharing my heart and by sharing the information that I was told about what's happening in our world and what's happening in our health. And so if you are suffering in your finances or your health, there are solutions here. So if you are interested in either of those, please refer back to the person that brought you here. They have a discount code for you. So you would get 25% off your first initial purchase with one of those big, larger packs. And then ongoing, you can continue to receive those discounts as well, and they can talk to you about that. And then if you purchase something like that, you also have an opportunity to earn an income. So as long as you are taking care of you and you would like to share with your community, you also can earn an income and have a business of your own. So I'm so glad that you were here with us tonight, and that you are, taking care of yourself and learning about taking care of yourself, and getting, right for the season coming up. And now I'm going to just stop the recording. And then if anyone else has any questions, I'm happy to answer those now. But thank you so much for joining, and I'll talk to you soon.